What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Take Time Out with Tre Mosley. I am your host, Tre Mosley, and today we have a very special guest who has taken the time because over there it's 7 o'clock p.m. in the UK. But I asked him and he said yes, and I couldn't be even more happier to have uh, the one and only Mr. Red Pepper is on the show.
How you doing?
How are you, sir? Please
I'm
don't
all
shake
right.
the room with all that rumble.
I'm all right, man.
Yeah,
When you said, come on, I said, come on, not a problem.
I
I'm
mean,
always inside my office, always inside my studio messing around. I said, you know what? Could as well use this time wisely and catch up with you. How you doing, Trey? You good?
if I was any better, I couldn't stand
I like
it.
that. I'll remember that one.
Yeah, a old friend, he says, "Oh, he said, man, if I was any better, I couldn't stand it." I'm like, well, you know what?
Mm,
That's a good way to go.
truly, truly.
So glad to have you on. We've been communicating for years and have had,
Mm,
conversation here and there. But when I put this thing together, I had a group of people that I
yeah,
had in mind, and I'm like, I want to get him, but man, the time difference, will it work? Can it work?
exactly,
And
exactly.
here we are. So thank you so much, man. Um, First off,
Hmm.
you are from Barbados.
Yeah, born in Barbados. I was, I don't know, about a year old when I left there. Went stateside, down in Hayward, California. I spent a lot of time down there. I was 15 when I came to the UK, so I don't know the states that well. I never been to New York, never been to the major cities, but
Mhm.
I was in Hayward, spent time over in Modesto, seeing friends, well, family friends. Family's got a trucking company over there in Stockton. So I was always around there, San Fran, messing around, just following dad, really. So I've been in the UK for Christ. I'm 62 now. So I've been here a long time. So yeah, I was raised
Wow,
till I was 15 in the States, on the West Coast.
I did not know that. Well, next time you on the West Coast and you want to come through Vegas, man, that's where I am.
Yeah, I
Uh,
know you there. I know you
first
there.
first
What
rounds
you
on
doing
me,
over there? What you doing
huh?
over in Vegas, man? Come on now.
Man, you know, for me, I guess I'm being interviewed now, but a lot a lot of opportunities came my way, and I could not take advantage of them in Florida.
Hmm.
And California was right there, but I'm like,
Hmm.
too expensive for my taste.
Exactly.
And Vegas was a nice little, it's not too far. I
Yeah.
can either fly 45 minutes or spend 3 hours on the road to go
Mm.
to LA and do work. So that's what prompted me and the wife to plant our flag here. And it's
Yeah.
been a great return on investment in many, many ways. But
Indeed.
this ain't about me, man. Don't be trying to flip it. Look
Man,
at
we
you
got
taking
time.
over
We got
all
time. We're here to talk, baby. I want to talk
taking
to you
over
too.
already. So how does one go from working uh in the tube, as you all call it,
Yeah.
um,
Subway, right?
in the subway for
Hmm.
you Yanks out there?
Hmm.
Um, how does one go from working in the tube to rocking the mic the way you do?
I tell you what, I didn't have a clue. At the very beginning, I'm one of those old school cats who used to listen to what we call the wireless. I used to listen to the little radio and listen to all these DJs playing fantastic soul music and jazz music, and I used to imitate these guys. I never understood the workings of, radio. So all I could hear was music and this dude just talking, just, yeah, this is the hot hits, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, I could do that. That sounds so cool. And so from a kid, I was always crazy about listening to people's voices. But I never ever in a million years thought that I'd ever become a voice actor because number one, I didn't know what a voice actor was. I just assumed that these guys are wherever in radio world just doing their thing. I didn't understand a thing. So anyway, went through my life just doing everything, like I was a fireman, I was a security man, I was a train driver. When I got to be a train driver, I was just driving my train, minding my business, and making my announcements. Every time I got to the station, I'd say, yeah, this is your driver. This train is going all the way to Watford or wherever it's going, and shut the doors, go about my business. One particular day, this dude was on my train. I didn't know, television executive. And I made the announcement on the train. He climbs off the train at the next station, at Baker Street Station. and runs along the platform. I can see him on my monitor. I'm thinking, is somebody being attacked? Has somebody passed out on the train? Because it happens all the time. So I wait, I open my cab window. This guy gets all the way down to my cab window. He says, "Man, you got a great voice." He didn't talk like that. He says, "Hey, you've got a lovely voice." He talked like that kind. And it was very, very, very camp, extremely camp. And I'm thinking, I was a little irritated, to be honest, because I'm thinking, you're in the rush hour, you got trains backing up behind you, and I'm waiting for this guy to come and tell me I got a nice voice. I said, "Thank you. Is that it?" "No, no, 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 no. And can we exchange numbers?" And back then, to have a mobile phone was something special.
Right.
So I didn't really have no contacts in my mobile phone. And I just said, "Yeah, sure, we'll exchange numbers." So I got somebody else in my contacts. Wow.
Yeah.
And I put his name in and his number in. And the following day, he's calling me. He says, "Red." Yeah, I said, "Yeah." He says, "I'm Dean. Could you come into the studio, Molinaire Studios, tomorrow?" I said, "Well, sure. Okay." I didn't think nothing of it. So when I get into Molinaire Studios, I got to work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon until midnight. But beforehand, I went into Molinaire Studios.
Hmm.
And I got on my underground uniform, train driver's uniform and everything. And he's got all these executives behind this glass and very well to do. And hello, this is Red. Hello, this is Red. And I'm thinking, okay, this is all new to me, really fantastic studios. Never
Yeah.
been in a studio like that in my life. And I thought, wow, this is cool. Well, this is something different. So I'm green around the gills. I haven't got a clue how it works. And he gave me the A4 sheet of paper. He says, "Okay, go in there. When you see the green light, say the first line. When you see the green light again, say the second line. Blah blah blah. You know how it is." So I wait for the green light. Typical. I've got some. I forget what it was playing in the background. First typical line. "In a world." Second green light. "We're one man." And it went on like that. And
Yeah.
they're behind the screen, really animated, like really, really animated, like. And I'm thinking, so
I guess I'm doing okay.
yes, I finished it. And I said, "Is that okay?" "Yes, yes, yes." They press a button. "We'll be through." And he came through and he shook my hand. You know when people shake your hand, but they're so happy that they don't let go, and they're holding
Yeah.
your hand for like 30 seconds with a great big beaming smile on his face. And he's like, "Yes, fantastic. We'll be in touch. We'll be in touch." And that's how my career started, because after he rang me the next time, he said, "I'd like you to come in for 1 hour per week on a retainer." And I didn't have a clue. I was just a train driver. I
Didn't
had
know the
no
business
clue.
yet.
I didn't know nothing about the business side of this thing, or the jargon they used. The hell is a retainer? And he offered me, let's say, 3 times what I was working for 48 hours a week on the underground, right?
Yeah.
1 hour per week. And I thought, whoa, whoa. I spoke to my wife, my ex-wife now. I said, this dude's just offered me how much? And she goes, "No, you must have mistakenly, you must have heard him wrong." I says,
Right.
"Yeah, I think I've heard him wrong too." Anyway, it was factual. And I said, "Wow." So I came in there one hour, done what he wanted me to do, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I was out of there. It was cool. I thought, okay, this ain't right. So anyway, I tried to hold on to the underground job. I thought this will never last, because he gave me this retainer for 2 years, 24
Wow.
months. So I lie, 36 months.
Huh?
And I says, "Okay." But I thought, I'm not greedy, but I got little kids. They were tiny kids then. And I says, 3 years will go by fast, and I'm going to throw away a good job driving trains. So I tried to do the two of them, but it didn't
Mm.
quite work, because
Work
halfway,
starts coming in.
well, this is the thing. Halfway through my shift driving a train, I'm getting a call. "Hi, Red, can you be in this afternoon?" And I'm thinking, money. But I'm thinking, I don't finish till 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh,
Right.
Jesus. So my big mouth engaged before my brain. And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I got a whole shift to do. So I'd book off sick. I'd do all kind of skullduggery to get out of the underground and go and do these jobs until they publicized my face on all the big newspapers in the UK, because it was some big story. They said, "We're going to use this as a fantastic story. Red has come off the trains and now he's a big trailer man," and this, that, and the other. I says, "Oh, shoot." So everybody saw it. I got woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning by some good friends.
Oh,
People are talking about you. They're calling your name on talk radio. They're calling your name on LBC. They're calling your rate on Radio One. They're calling your. You're in the newspaper. And I open up the paper. There's me, massive, big thing. Me,
wow.
and I'm thinking, oh shoot. So it just went from underground to not. I wouldn't say famous. I don't like that word, but being recognized because of my voice just overnight like that. And then that's when I got myself an agent, and that's when work started picking up, and all of a sudden, big companies in the UK and the States as well, obviously. My first gig was with Pepsi Cola, I think Coca Cola. Yeah, Coca Cola. And when I saw the paycheck, it was like I honestly thought it was wrong. You know, I keep looking at you instead of the camera. I thought it was wrong. It was whoa. I spoke to the agent. I said, "Listen, I'm an honest, God-fearing man. I can't. I'm sure they made a mistake." And she just laughed. Literally, Emma Harvey. She laughed at me. Laughed hard. She said, "Sit down, young man. Let me tell you something. These guys are promoting you all over the world or wherever. They're making sack loads." She used another expletive, to be honest.
I'm sure.
They're making sack loads. What they've just paid you is nothing. I said, that's something to me. So that's how it escalated. And then all of a sudden people said, I want to use you. I want to use you. I want to use you. And she said to Dean, listen, if you're restricting his earnings with this retainer and you want him only to work with you got to bump it up.
That's
You know,
right.
you can't just be paying him what is fantastic for him, but that's pittance. And so that was the end of that one, and that was when the Sci-Fi Channel launched over here, and then all of a sudden it just went on and on and on, and then games wanted me, and TV programs wanted me, and television and radio adverts, and you know how it is. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, I was working, and 30 years down the line, I'm still working and still current and still working daily, and you know, I don't know when it'll ever end. Don't want it to ever end. It's fantastic. Keeps me young, keeps me happy, keeps me alive, you know. So that's how I got into this wonderful field of voice acting.
So, for anyone who's watching or listening to this on the podcast, I'm
Mm,
gonna go ahead and ask the question that they have been dying to be asked.
yeah,
When did you get the voice?
man. This voice, no word of a lie. I'll give you the compressed version. Otherwise, I'll go on and on because I can't talk for England, I got to say. Getting up in the morning, the typical storyline from everybody. I don't know when my voice broke. It just broke. It's the same thing with me. 14 years old, I'm literally coming down the stairs. Good morning, Ma. Good morning, Ma. Oh my God. Good morning, Mom. And my voice was not stable.
Yeah.
And I thought, whoa. And I thought, whoa. And I could literally feel the vibration in my chest. So I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So yeah. And I started doing stuff like that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Who loves you, baby? And I'm trying to do all this stuff. And my mom's in the kitchen and she said, you think you're a man now? I said, well, I sound like a man. She said, come here. Bam!
Oh,
she, said,
well, that'll fix that.
she goes, you'll always be a boy to me. You're my boy. You understand? But it was like amazing. And obviously it's got more gravitas as years have gone by. But when it dropped, I was 14 years old. Seriously, it just, whoa. And the thing that freaked me out is my chest.
The
You could
rumble
feel
in
it.
the chest.
Yeah. And I thought, what is that? That's so cool. And then my sisters called on them when they got boyfriends. They say, just get on the phone, tell him don't come back. Otherwise, you'll have you to answer to. They'll have you to answer. And I said, well, look at me. I'm a little skinny. I can't do nothing. They don't know that. And I'll just get on the phone and listen, don't show your face back here again. You understand? Do you understand? Thank you. And I got, you know what I earned from that? Not money. I like greens. I like vegetables. I like sprouts. I like collard greens. I like proper food. All
Yeah.
greens. I love greens. They don't like them. So
Really?
dinner time, they would give me all their greens, all
All
their
their
vegetables and
portions.
stuff. Yeah. And that's why I'm 6'4".
There you go.
Yeah. So that's how that started. And yeah, when I was young, 14 years old. and then I used it to my advantage, and obviously attracted the females and all the rest of it. And I thought, "Oh, this is
Oh,
cool.
you don't say.
This is cool. This is cool." And I wasn't a bad-looking young man either. It's like, my little afro and my sisters used to plait my hair, and it
Oh,
was
I
all good.
gotta see that because
Oh,
I will say because the pictures that I've seen, you are always just fly. Just I'm like, this dude is just sharp for no reason. So
yeah, yeah.
I can believe that.
Well,
Um,
this the
you
thing. That's the thing. I choose to because I'm a father. I'm a father of 6 kids, and a lot of folks have said to me, "Why do you dress nice to go into a studio?" Obviously, this is my own studio, so my boo is behind me. I don't have to dress
yeah,
nice, and like I'm talking to you like a friend. We're just chilled and relaxed.
yeah.
But when I go into central London or Italy or wherever I got to go to do BOs, I dress. I've always said to my kids, dress like you own the damn place.
All
Dress to
right.
impress. Dress to impress. I don't want to bring the race thing into it. I says, but I grew up in a seriously mismatched race era. And I says, you gotta be ready to face the king or face a pauper. You gotta look like the man. And when you walk into some of these studios, there's some folks who will say, who is this trap? Who is Trey? Who is Red? Who is that? Hmm. And you walk through the door looking like scruff bag, and they just, they've already put you down. So to
Yeah.
me, I walk in the place, and some CEOs and top creatives, they're not used to being spoken to in a certain manner.
Hmm.
They don't own me. So when I walk in, okay, who's that? Who's that dressed in the blue suit? All right, your suit don't look bad. No, don't talk to him like that. So I own it. So I've got to be a presence when I walk in. And the only way I can be a presence is looking like the man. And then you got to deliver. You don't want to look like the man and then can't deliver. That makes you look like a punk.
Exactly.
So I've always said to myself, look good, impress. And I'm not doing it for me. I'm showing my children. You got to A, appearance. S, speech. A, attitude. ASA, appearance, speech, and attitude will get you far. That's how I see things. So I like to dress nice.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, I there's this one picture of you that I see often when I'm like searching and googling your name, and you have on like this nice cap, full length coat, and I'm like, where is this dude going?
What was
And
this?
you know what? It doesn't even matter where you're going because you were just like, I'm red pepper, and you're nice.
You know it. You know it. And it
Here
works.
comes the man. That's the one.
It
That
works.
shout out to my producer. You
There
all
you
can't
go.
see it right now, but he just
There
put
you
it
go.
on the screen. When this is produced, you'll see it. But that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's my untouchables look. You
Hey,
know,
now.
the untouchables, or in the UK they say, "Excuse me, mate, you look like Peaky Blinders." That's what they told me because I when I'm in the summertime, don't touch me because I'm hot. Seriously, I don't mess about. I like to. It's not a case of look at me, I'm somebody special. It's just that feeling you get within, and you can handle everything. You are the man wherever you're going. When you walk in, you got to impress, not just with the voice. Anybody got a great voice, but your whole manner, and it gets you work, and you get remembered. No one forgets you. They said, "Oh, Red. Oh, I love the way he dresses." Simple things. You're investing in yourself. That's how I see it. I'm investing in myself. It's as simple as that.
I like that. So one thing that you said I want to touch back on because I
Hmm.
know it's a part of your life. Now you said growing up, you
Hmm.
had the transistor radio listening
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
DJs. You yourself
yeah.
also DJ now. So
Yeah,
talk a
yeah,
little bit about, when you're not on the mic working in
yeah,
VO, you still on the mic
yeah,
working,
yeah.
but you're playing music.
Every single
The
week,
solo
right?
caster.
I got this the solar coaster.
Solo coast, that's right.
Like in roller coasters, solar coaster. I
Solo
love my
coast.
soul music. I love jazz music. Funny enough, I like rock. I like Whitesnake. I like heavy metal. I like uh, orchestral music. I like
Mhm.
quality music, and because I play a bit of guitar, I like to play instruments. That's why my nails are so long on one hand and flat on the other because I play the guitar a lot. And I like to hear instruments. Doesn't matter what genre, if you can play, that tickles me every single
Mhm.
time. So I got into my music, but soul was my number one music, obviously. And what happened was I used to have these little you know, cheap turntables and whatever. I wanted to be a DJ. So in your bedroom, you're the best DJ in the world. But in reality,
Yeah.
no, ain't nobody gonna say anything to you. Listen, yeah, you carry on, kid, enjoy yourself. And so I had these back in the day we had tape cassettes and 8 track and whatever. But we had the little tape cassettes, we used to record radio
Yeah.
shows on and to stop the DJ just before the DJ speaks, you cut it so you just have the music. And I said, I'm gonna make a tape of me DJing. And I got this little cheap mic and all the rest of it. And I made a C90 tape. And I had a girlfriend at the time. She took it, sent it into a radio station.
Mhm.
So happens that there's a fellow called Greg Edwards. Greg Edwards is a soul DJ. He brought soul music to the UK. Without him, soul music was never going to be played. It was all English white pop bands, Cliff
Yeah.
Richard, Cilla Black, Rolling Stones, all that. There was no unless you was Sam Cooke or the Motown sound. No one
Mhm.
else wanted to touch anything outside of that. George Clinton, Parliament, none of that. You wouldn't have ever heard of that.
Wow,
Should
really?
never, ever. Trust me. So it was like the 70s, mid 70s. Greg Edwards was a legend. He's still playing nowadays. And everybody idolized him. When it came 6 o'clock on the evening on a Saturday, he was there. Everybody, every black man in the country was listening to Greg. So it turned out that Greg was a program controller at this radio station, WNK, which is no longer there now. And my girlfriend at the time sent the tape in.
Mm.
He liked it. I didn't have a clue. And I get this call. Hi, can I speak to Red Pepper? I'm thinking, you sound like Greg Edwards. Yeah, this is Greg Edwards. And I'm thinking, oh, shoot. Hey, I'm just all excited. So
Yeah.
anyway, he said, come on in. Got in, shook his hand. I was like, and I got in there and he says, okay, let me see what you can do. And I'm in the studio I've never been in before, a different type of thing. I didn't know nothing about it. And I got in there and he says, great. I want you to cover my show. I want you to cover my show. I said, really? In at the deep end. And I mastered it. Everybody loved it. And I says, I got the bug. And that was 1990 or it was 89, around about 1990. And I picked up the mantle. I says, yeah, this is from me. And I've been DJing on the radio without making a big fuss about it since 1989. Solid to this very day. And every Saturday I do it on JFSR, Jazz Funk Soul Radio. It's
Mhm.
called the Solar Coaster. I play mellow, I play rare cuts, I play funk, I play the lot. That's how I am because I'm just a music junkie. I think I got 180,000 records. I'm serious. I'm deadly serious. And I
Wait,
had
you
a
have 180,000 that you own, like vinyl, or
well,
just
well,
that you
well,
play?
well, yeah. Well, I've got a lot of them transferred onto the MP3 now
Okay,
because
wow.
I managed to get rid of 100,000 albums, but I donated them to local hospitals, the local hospital radio DJ. But what I discovered after I got rid of them, I discovered that I had a room. Oh my God. I found a room in my house because the music had gone. And I had
Yeah.
a huge, because it was wall to wall, ceiling to floor. It was music. And that was me. And I still have the passion, but the only thing about MP3, you can get it on your computer straight away. Whereas if I had them, I said, oh, where is that Barbara Mason album, Woman to
Mhm.
Woman? And I got to go searching. You tend to know where they are, but
Right.
it just saves a lot of time. You're on the computer, bam, there it is. So I'm passionate about music. I'm passionate about DJing.
Now, do you still have a vinyl collection though, like just your own personal
Yeah,
stash?
I got some stored in another home in another spot, but I ain't supposed to tell nobody that because I told them I got rid of them.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, my dear. I told them a long time ago.
Yeah,
You and your big mouth.
my father-in-law, um, he grew up in that same era. He's probably about
Mm,
10 years older than you, and
okay.
he knew I loved vinyl and,
Yeah.
like, we're here in the studio, so
Uh,
I have a record player downstairs, and up here in
okay.
the studio, I have a stereo system off to the right over
Mm-hmm.
there, and he gave me his vinyl collection. He
Mm,
was like, "I know you'll take care of it because I know you love listening." It's something
exactly.
about dropping that needle and you're hearing that little
Oh yeah.
crinkle right before the music.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want no baby. And the hold on a second. And the when you listen, when you pull the sleeve out,
Full
that
sleeve.
sleeve,
Yeah.
and you gotta you take it by both hands, and you gotta just flip it over. There's a certain way you don't touch it. You just yeah
Yeah.
you, you looking to see if any prints on it, anything, and you
Hmm.
place it on, and you oh yeah, it still does it for me every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. There are days when if I have no sessions or no meetings or
Mm-hmm.
nothing, and
Yeah.
maybe my wife is at school,
Mm-hmm.
I turn the speakers up to where this whole edifice is shaking,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
I put on this particular day. I put on James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It was James Brown. It was Quincy Jones, the dude, one of my
Yes.
favorite
Dun,
albums.
dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun. Oh, sorry, I digress.
No, it's all good
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was in here getting it.
He's the
I
dude.
love I love soundtracks. Um,
Yes.
I grew up in an era, in the Roger Moore, Sean Connery Bond
Yes.
era,
Yes.
and I think they had some of the best soundtracks to those James Bond
Mm-hmm.
movies.
Ain't that
Uh,
the truth? Ain't that the
Live and
truth,
Let
baby?
Die, Diamonds Are Forever,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so maybe 2 weekends ago, I just listened to soundtracks. I did all the Bond collection. I put
Mm-hmm.
on Top Gun and
Oh
was in here in the
shoot.
danger zone,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know, and it's one of those things where, and strangely enough, this is why I wanted to do a podcast like this. The
Mm,
reason I call it Take Time Out. Um, I wanted to get into how when we're not in the studios,
mm,
and we're not outside going to another studio, we're traveling here to
mm-hmm.
record, there to record. Like, what do you do to unwind? How does Red Pepper take time out for himself and for his family?
Seriously, a lot of it is to do with music. Um, First and foremost, I'll pull out stuff um, because I'm an emotional man. I'm a sentimental man. I'm a real man. I slightly digress, and I got to explain myself because you may say, "I beg your pardon." When I say this, your wife makes me happy. I beg your pardon, Rick. I'll tell you for why. When I see you and your wife on your Instagram and all the rest of it, I see love. I see beauty. I see something very, very special. So to me, like I said, I don't mean it in any kind of way,
No,
but
no, you good, bro.
you,
You
you,
good.
you and your wife make me so happy. I watch you. I'm saying, look at these two. Oh, damn, that's love right there. So the
Yeah,
music side of it, I will find something, and I don't just listen to stuff. I will listen to someone like Michelle Indegliocello, and she
love
plays her
her.
bass and all the rest of it. And talking about soundtrack, she was on a soundtrack called Higher Learning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the music on there is sublime. I take music, I take sounds. I will go on to these, different register sounds. It's supposed to be touching your mind, and I'll put on some kind of maybe bells or, and I'll leave it on. And whatever I'm doing, I'll focus on it. If my kids need something doing, I'll do it. If my kids need me to take the grandkids, and I'll take them in. But what I do a lot of walking. I do a lot of thinking. I do a lot of not exactly yoga. I'll do a lot of meditation, but
Hmm.
mainly, what I'll do is speak to people. I will call people up and I say, "What's up?" And they'll usually start by saying, "Yeah, everything's good." No, no, come on, what's up? I'm not feeling you this week.
Hmm.
I'll come around. And I'll come around guaranteed within half an hour. They have got an issue they wanted to talk about, and we talk about it. And usually I just raise them up. And to me, I got this little thing about being positive. I just always had it. Be positive. So I speak to people all the time. I spend my time raising people's energy, their level, their feel good factor. That's what I'm all about most times when I'm not in the studio. That's what I got to do because what else am I going to do? Am I going to sit there watching television? No.
Right.
And and reality is, I've always said it. I don't want to digress too much, but reality is, if you sit down and you turn your television off and you look at that spot where that television is, you'll see what you're actually doing. You're sitting there looking at a space in your room for 8 hours, 6 hours, 5 hours. You haven't got off your behind. You haven't done anything positive. You haven't connected with anyone. You sat there in that room and looked at that corner where your television is. And I've said it to people, it's nothing wrong with that to a degree, but don't make it your life. Make your life full of a passion. Have a passion. Doesn't have to be about money. Has to be
Mhm.
a passion. Have something in your life that you really want to do. That's really going to uplift yourself. Really going to uplift somebody. Something. Get something done. And don't
Mhm.
say, I don't see why I should. No, that's negative. Do it. Do it. And you'll get something back. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But anyway, that's my kind of thing. I'm just a motivational kind of guy. I like to speak and let people realize themselves, see what they've got because there's too many people who they believe they're downtrodden,
Mhm.
but they're not. It's just they
Yeah.
don't have that little zest, that little something, somebody to spark them into action. And I do that. I'm the sparker. Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a
You're a
sparker.
conduit.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Energy siphons through you, and then you put it out
Mm,
into the universe.
mm. That's what I do. I spend my time just loving, man. That's a good way to put it. I spend my time loving.
And I think that's very important um, for a lot of voice actors, especially here stateside.
Mm,
Um, just when I'm on social media and people I know in the business,
mm.
um, for whatever reason, we have these moments where we feel like we're alone. We have nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, but then hearing what you said and how you're the
Mm,
person, and I do that too. So there's
yeah.
I have a group of voice actors. We're all
Mm,
black men, and we're on a group chat,
yeah.
and we either talking about football, American football in this instance.
Yeah.
We're talking about work, and every now and then, I'll just reach out to them like, "All right, this is just a wellness check. How you
Yeah.
doing today? What's
Mhm.
going on? I'm not
Mhm.
hitting you up talking about work. I'm just trying to see how the fella's doing."
Exactly.
And, you know, you may have one dude, "Yeah, man, everything is good, man.
Yes.
This is going on." And maybe that one dude like, "Yeah, man, just found out some bad news." And,
Mhm.
now we collectively lift him up. Well, "Hey, be with us.
Exactly.
We here." So
Exactly.
I get that fully
Yeah.
about, staying positive because there's so much other negative stuff out there that
Exactly.
can bring the room down. But if
And then
you're in a good frame of mind
yeah.
and then you can share that with others, I
And
think
in this
that's
in this industry, you know very well because you've been a voiceover and an excellent voice actor for a long time.
thank you, sir.
You get that. Well, I don't get it anymore. When I would first started, first 5 years, I thought I'll never get another job. I thought, Christ, I'm self-employed. Christ, without this, what am I going to do? I didn't really have the confidence, even though I had the ability. I still inside myself, I was thinking, this will never last. This will never
Mm,
last. Or you get a dry week or a dry month, or dare I
yeah.
say, a dry 2 months. You're checking your phone. What the hell? I need to change my agent. My agent ain't doing doo-doo. And you think, no. And you can, as every single voice actor thinks that the other voice actor is doing better. And they'll hear you on the television or the radio or at an NFL event or whatever. And they'll say, oh man, he must be doing good. I hear him everywhere. The fact is, they don't hear you everywhere. They think they hear you everywhere. You may be done 4 gigs in a month, and all of a sudden, man, you raking it in. You really?
Mm,
But in reality, you've done 4 gigs in a month, which is not great. It's okay. All depends on what they pay you, obviously. But
yeah.
but so you'll get that jealousy. What agent are you with? How do you get your work? Blah 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 blah. And everybody in the voiceover world thinks that the next man is doing better than them, and it can be lonely to not me, to a lot of the newbies. They just feel, oh, this is not the right thing for me. Then they'll get a bite. They feel great. And then they come down and they keep on
Mhm.
coming down and it goes on and on and on. And it's usually self
Yeah.
inflicted depression. It really is.
I when I had been interviewed on other podcasts, and just matter of fact, I had a young man reach out to me yesterday, through a mutual friend. He's like, yeah, he just moved to Vegas and he wants to get into VO. And we talked for about an hour. And I
Wow.
told him, I said, when people see me hanging out somewhere or they see me post something I booked,
Mm,
they're like, man, Trey living the life. I'm like, I'm
yeah.
really not. I said, what
Hmm.
what you're seeing is the after.
Exactly.
If I sat and talked with you about the before,
Hmm.
when I was unemployed and I go outside to go to my mailbox
Yeah.
and the space that formerly had my car,
Yeah.
but it had just been repoed 10 minutes before I
Yeah.
walked out the door.
There you
Like
go.
you don't know those days.
Yeah.
Or,
Exactly.
you know, you get someone that calls you and says, "Hey, we think your voice is great. We got this commercial coming up for the Super Bowl. We love you to
Mm,
be on it." And then
yeah.
when the spot airs, it's not your voice, and you're like,
Oh yeah. Been
"Yeah."
there.
Being recast
It-
without being told you're recast.
doesn't it hurt? It doesn't hurt, but it doesn't. It gives you a little irritation,
To this
when
day, it's just
you're
like,
driving down the highway and everything is cool. It's a beautiful day. You and your wife are cool. You just popped into McDonald's. You got some food going. You're cool. You're heading to see some good friends or whatever. It's a beautiful day, and you hear that radio ad come on, and something in your head remembers the script,
remember the
and you
script.
think,
Yep.
and you say, "Wait a minute, I know this script. Wait a minute, I did it." But they've given you all the hot wind when you're in the studio. Yes,
Mhm.
great job, Trey. Oh, excellent, Trey. Beautiful, man. But when you walk out the door, man, nah, he's not the one. But rather than tell you straight, they'll hot wind you. They'll just say, "Yeah, fantastic, fantastic." And people think that never happens to me. It happens to me. It happens to every voice actor because someone in the production team just, I'm not quite feeling it, or maybe the creatives have done it all nice, and when they go and put it to the big boys who will give you the thumbs up, it's,
Mhm.
oh, I'm not quite. No, we need a lighter voice. He's too dark. He's too this. He's too that. And I was thinking, it happens. It happens in every single genre, and for all women, for men, for youngsters, for old cats, for
Mhm.
experience, for newbies. It happens in the industry. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
It I s even to this day, and that was 2014 or 15.
Yeah.
That one's still, like, right here, like, it stings. And I've lost out on some pretty big jobs to people I know that are
Yeah, yeah,
friends
yeah,
of
yeah.
mine, but it seems but that one, for whatever reason, I
Listen,
could be 80 years old, like, it
Trey, that must have been major, man. That must have been a
yeah,
big one.
it was that would have been my first big one.
Yeah,
I still
yeah.
remember the amount of money. It was like $48,000.
Stop thinking about it. It's gone now.
And
Come on now.
yeah,
Big.
since then I've like been there and done
Exactly.
that. But at that time I was at a crossroads in my VO career
Yeah.
where I was where I and like you said, sometimes we see other people's
Uh-huh.
trajectory, and you're like, well, how come they're doing this and they're doing this, and I'm
Mhm.
sitting here doing PSAs for
Yeah.
180 pounds a spot, and it's
Uh-huh.
like, but he just did one for 1,500. I'm like,
Yeah.
so
Or
that would have
or
put me in
or
a different stratosphere,
exactly.
and then when I didn't get it, it was just like,
And you start saying stuff like, "I sound better than him. I could do better than him. Man, his voice ain't so good. His voice ain't so deep. His analysis, that's all good." I, I've always said it to a lot of people. There are a million guys out there with deeper voices than mine. I've met them. Well, I've met quite a few of them anyway. And I'm thinking, God damn, I thought your voice was deep.
right.
Shit. And you got a deep voice. But it's all good to have a great voice. But can you bring it? Because remember, this industry is called voice acting. And some folks have the voice, but put a piece of paper in front of them, give them some instructions. Okay, this is a deep movie about whatever. This is blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's the script. And they could say, one, two, three, four, five. Could you give it to me a different way? One, two, three, four, five.
Yeah.
You just pump it up a bit. One, two, three, four, five. I've sat in studios and seen guys do that because they have great voices, but they don't have the ability to bring it to life.
Mhm.
because they've got nothing in their life. They'd be not being disrespectful, but if you're a selfish man, if you have no empathy, if you have no sympathy, if you've never been loved, if you are just aggressive, you've always had your own way, you're a pig-headed child, you were a spoiled brat, you will never make it in the industry because you have none of your senses intact. None. It's all about me, me, me. So when somebody says to you, sound like you're really in love with that person. If you've never experienced that, it's hard for you to find that within you. Do you
Mhm.
understand? So a lot of people just can't do it. They can't bring it. And great voice, fantastic voice. I've heard guys that just make my voice just crumble. And some guys, and I'm thinking, God, how old are you? Yeah, I'm 17. Shut the fuck up. It's like, really? No, okay, I'm exaggerating. Never 17, but these
Yeah.
young 25-year-olds, and some of these guys have got some big kahunas. They're just like way down there. Just naturally, I'm thinking you should be a voice actor, but they just don't have that, you know, whatever it takes to do it, which just comes natural.
Mhm.
And as far as I'm concerned, so go for it. If you can do it, do it. It's no skin off my nose. I know I'm wise enough and old enough to recognize there's always going to be work, always.
Every day, you
Mm,
know, it I remember, and I don't remember who said it, but, um, there was a guy in the industry, he's been around forever, and he used to always say, you know, "If you come into this job in VO
mm,
and the only thing you think about is getting paid, you
mhm.
never gonna get work."
Exactly.
He said, "Eventually, you have to love the craft and love what
Yes.
you're doing because that's gonna show when you get that copy." And like you said, if they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and
Mm.
all you thinking, "Oh, yeah, I'm about to get paid. They like my voice." Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, can you slow it down and give me a little bit of emotion on 3 and then, blow it up on 5? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not no. If you can't go 1, 2,
It's
3, 4, 5, or
Mhm.
5, 4, 3, and if
Yeah,
you
I know.
can't deliver that, because 'cause I've coached. I
Oh.
don't do a lot of coaching
Mhm,
anymore, but
mhm.
there was a time that, when the pandemic hit, I was like people was
Yeah.
like, "Can you coach? Can you coach?"
Mhm,
And there were
mhm.
there were some folks who the passion was there,
Yeah.
but I could not reach them, and I'm like, "Look, I'm not gonna keep taking your money
Mhm.
because I'm giving you simple things to
Yeah.
read,
Yeah, yeah.
and I can tell the want to is there," but I'm like,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
I don't wanna crush this person's dream, but the
Yeah,
reality of it is,
yeah,
you ain't
yeah,
got it. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
Now you could prove me wrong, and I would be totally okay with that. You're like, "I'll show
exactly.
you," and maybe on your own, now you watching a TV, commercial, and that
Mhm,
person saying, "Buy one, get one free," and you walk around all day, "Buy one, get one free. Buy
mhm,
one, get one free. Buy one, get one free," and you
mhm,
come back, "Hey, Trey, I'm ready now," and
mhm,
then I give you copy, and you blow me away. I'm like, "Dang, you've
mhm.
been
There you
practicing."
go. There you go.
Then I can tell that,
Yeah,
okay, you
yeah.
want it.
See, but
Um
there's nothing worse than, I get young cats come through here, and you train them up, and I'll tell them, but I'm brutal, you see. There's nothing worse than kids who think they got it, not necessarily kids, but anyone who think they've got it, and then I've been in the industry for 30 odd years, and I'll give them little pointers through my experience,
Mhm.
and they'll tell me, "Yeah, but and they won't listen. They're not very good at using these. Quick to use
Mm.
that, and they think
Ah.
it's all about that, and I keep saying, to be a voice actor, you must have these tuned in. Because if a director tells you he wants it this way, he doesn't expect to be saying, I want it this way 15 times. He doesn't expect 20 minutes after telling you, he's got to keep on telling you, or she. It doesn't matter. They'll just say, get him out of here. I thought he was a pro, and you'll never hear from that guy again or woman again, and your name will be crap in the industry, because they say, "Oh, uh, use John whoever John Joseph." I wouldn't advise it. He'll be there all goddamn day, and he still won't get it. Really? No, his show reel sounds great, but he must have took 3, 4 days to do a 30-second reel, because it doesn't come naturally to some. It just does not come naturally to some. And they do constantly tell you, yeah, but and they won't get it. And you can beat yourself up all day long, or you can just be brutally honest and just say, hey, kid, you're not ready. You're not ready. Uh, Again, I'm happy to prove for you to prove me wrong, but
Yeah.
you're not ready, and I can't waste my time because your attitude is wrong. Not so much your ability, your attitude isn't correct, and I'm not wasting my time having a fight with you because you come here to fight with me. Bye. I don't
And
give a damn.
attitude goes a long way in
Big
this
time.
business.
Everything's around attitude. Everything.
If you walk into a studio and whoever the director is giving you what they feel is the best direction,
Hmm.
and you're like, "Well, do you think it does sound good that way? Because I think if we did it like this," and they're like, "Look,
Yeah.
we got 10 minutes to knock this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'm not going back and forth with you.
Yeah. Exactly.
We hired you as the talent, but
Exactly.
this is how we want it to sound. So give us
Exactly.
what we want. You get
Exactly.
paid. We go get the client pays us. Everybody gets paid. Everybody's happy. And we
Yeah.
produce something that's beautiful. But if
Yeah.
you're in
Listen,
there just
trust me, and I know.
yeah.
Even back in the day when I first started, I made that ridiculous mistake. I was so into me. I just kept thinking, say so I could say something. I don't know, got no copy here, but whatever. I'll find something in this. Believe this. Look, can you see the title of this book? On Bullshit.
Okay.
And no kid. You check it out by Harry G. Frankfurt. Pick it up. It's dirt cheap. And it's a very small book. It's probably got I don't know how
Okay
many
then.
pages, about 100
I
pages
may,
of that.
I'm gonna look that up later.
Check it out. But I don't know. Uh, no, this is not very good. But just say something like, whatever.
We'll be right
Uh,
back.
we'll be right back. And you say, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Whatever. You've done it 1,000 different ways.
Hmm.
And you don't think it sounds good. To you. Who the hell are you? Are you paying yourself? If that man wants it to sound, so I may think, man, that would have sounded so much better if I said, um, there's never been a movie like this. And he says, no, but I like it. Can you say, there's never been, bit lighter. There's never been a movie like this. There's never been a movie like this. Yeah, that's the one. And I'm thinking, that is so inappropriate to this dark movie. That's the one he'll get. If that's the one he wants, that's the one he'll get. It's nothing to do with me. So I can go home and say, man, that sounds like crap. Oh, can't stand that. Oh, that's embarrassing. Who's it embarrassing to? It's embarrassing to nobody. It's in your mind because you're so far up your own behind. It's not about ego. It's about getting the job done for the client. So if the client wants you to say, yes, that's the next movie, do it. That's what you're getting paid for. Not about how you want to sound. It's not your gig. It's not your baby. You're working for someone else. So if they want you to sound like that, fine. No skin off my nose. But I was into that. I was so used to, whatever I was saying. This show is fantastic. So I want to talk like that all the time because yeah, I'm red and I want this show is fantastic. And somebody tapped me on my shoulder one day. It was a young lady. She was a creative. She goes, remember, darling, it's not about you. And that stuck in my head on the train going home. I thought, it's so true. It's so true. I'm losing myself because
Hmm.
all of a sudden I'm getting big now. Yeah, I'm red pepper. Yeah, this is how I talk. And you're not a one trick pony. If that's all you can do in a world, in a world, one man, this fall, blah blah blah. If that's all you can do, I'd be broke. Seriously. I'd be broke. There's so many things that I've done that people wouldn't even recognize. You get involved in so many things. I'm in the Mary Poppins movie. You don't even hear it, but I'm playing some elephant or whatever thing. I'm just doing some kind of ridiculous noises. I'm in so many Xbox and whatever games and just all kind of strange noises. Hello, how are you? Yes, yeah. Can you talk like
Yeah.
that? Of course I can talk like that. Of course, Mike. How you doing? Are you having a laugh? Yo, 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 you get me, blood. You get me. Yeah, you. I can do it all because I listen. When I
Mm-hmm.
listen, it goes in there, and I'm thinking, right, what is this about? Look at the project. Look at the project. Look at the storyline. Look at how this man is feeling. Look at how scared he is. Look how happy he is. You got to get into that psyche. So then you do it. It just comes out naturally. With me, it does. So you find that balance. You don't have to go too dark just because you got a dark voice. You don't have to go too high because you want to impress people that you can go high. You got to find that balance, and you got to keep an eye on the creative and the director. And if the director has got a smile on his face or her face, and they say, "Yes, that's the one. Just do that. Perfect, but just a little bit quicker." You know you're on the right track, and
Mm-hmm.
that session is fantastic. But some folks believe, like I did when I was young, that it's all about them. I thought, oh, they've hired me for my voice. Why are they asking me to change it? But they're not. It's a voice talent. It's not about you rumbling through the whole script. It's about seeing what your range is. So I can say, "Oh man, Trey, man, I've had a hard day." And something like, "Oh, I can't believe she's left me." Or I can say, "Trey, man, have had a hard day. I can't believe she's left me." Now
Right.
you understand me? So,
Mm-hmm.
but you got it there. But you so up in your own behind that you want to sound Mr. Cool like Barry White. "I can't believe she's left me." They don't want that. They want some acting. They want some contrast. And if you can do it, you're sailing. You're laughing. So it's not all about I've got a lovely voice. Can you act? Can you deliver what they want? Can you bring that to life? Can you? It's all about people's ears with your voice. You're driving a car. Ain't nobody can see me moving my hands and getting them and gesticulating. No, they're hearing the story through my voice. So everything has got to resonate with them. And it's down to you as a skillful voice actor to do the job that they're paying you
Mm-hmm.
for. So it's not all about in a goddamn world. It's really not. It's not. It really is. But I love what I do, and you love what you do. I know we do. So it's beautiful to talk to you as well. It's just I can't believe I'm sitting here sipping English tea. Hello, Jeff. How are you, Jeff? By Jove.
Y'all ain't know we was going to church today, huh?
You know,
Reverend
what's
Red
up?
has delivered a word for the masses.
For real, man.
You know,
Listen,
I'm so glad that we got this done. Um, you know, I got so deep into the interview, I forgot to play your clips and stuff, man, because we had a nice little package set up for you, and we may put
oh,
that in
you
post
have.
production. Maybe we'll put it at the end, but
It's absolutely amazing to think that the most powerful computer in the world is our brain. Ain't that something? Man-made computer. And now computer is controlling man. We are walking around depending on what we created. It's funny, ain't it? Our brain, so strong, so powerful, so uniquely put together. Don't answer the door.
Okay, Red, that was great. Thank you.
Got it?
Yeah, that was great.
Cool.
You can stop speaking like that now, though.
What do you mean? This is how I always speak. On October 15th, one lucky fan will be chosen to stand alongside the Avengers in an official Marvel comic. Immortalized on a cover, illustrated by renowned Marvel artists, written into the story, and released in a limited edition print run. Download Whatnot to enter and secure your spot in Marvel history.
I just want to say, number one, like I said, you taking the time because right now, looking at the clock, it is now 8 o'clock
Oh my
in the
God,
UK.
so late.
But
Listen, I'm always in here. I'm always in
yeah,
here. I have to be hounded out of here. What time you coming home? Oh, you still in there? Shall I bring the pillows and your blanket for you? It's like,
oh boy. That means it's time to get out of the studio when she
No,
starts saying
it's
that.
time to ignore the call. That's all it is. That's all it is. I don't give a
What?
damn.
We ain't going there. Uh, Tell the folks how they can find you, man, on all your social media
Well,
and
if
all
you
that good
on
stuff.
social media, I'm still on Twitter. I don't even use the damn thing. Apparently, it's called X now, right? At
That's what they say.
Yeah, at the Red Pepper. I'm on Instagram, Red Pepper 01. Remember, I spelled red with two D's. I'm on Facebook, Red Pepper. Where else am I? I'm on LinkedIn, Red Pepper. You get the drift. Yeah, and my telephone number is whatever.
And
uh,
tell them about, the Soul Coaster as well.
Oh, the solar coaster, yeah, as in it goes up and down. That's why I call it solar coaster. It's a show that I do, award-winning show. I'll have you know, between 3 and 6 UK time. So wherever you are in the world, you got to work that one out. Between 3 and 6 on a Saturday, and it's all funk and soul and good stuff. And you can contact me on the JFSR Facebook page. It's on Jazz Funk Soul Radio. That's the name of the station, Jazz Funk Soul Radio, or jfsr.co.uk, internet worldwide, and I get listeners from all over the damn world. Red man, you rock, man. Can you drop this tune? Yeah, man. Oh, you play Mantronics? Oh, man. Oh, my God. You play Nucleus? Wiki. Oh, my
Doom,
God.
doom, doom, doom.
I play every kind of groove,
Oh,
whatever
man.
mood I'm in, and then I'll slow it down for the ladies, and I'll play some Melissa Morgan, "Do Me Baby" or whatever. And I say, "Go and do Barry White. Can you talk like Barry White?" "Oh, baby, let's do this." And it's just me having fun. The beauty about internet radio stations, they're not policed as much as
Mhm.
the big stations. I've been offered big stations, been on auditions, got the gig, and then they tell you, "Oh no, don't talk, just keep on, play track after track. Don't No, too much talking." So I could play something by Diana Ross and the Supremes, and I'd say, "I got a really interesting story about Diana Ross," and they'd say, "No, cut, no, no, too much talking." And I'm thinking, what happened to radio? Whereas on the internet radio stations, I can tell you something. I says, "How you want to hear a story about Bootsy Collins?" Bam, music stopped, and I'm talking about Bootsy, and I'm talking about whoever,
Mhm.
and people engage because that's how radio was supposed to be, not just tune after tune and then telling the people, "Well, we don't have to tell you what record it is, just Shazam it, Shazam it." And I'm thinking, really? How rude. I'm old school, and I always will be. So yeah, come join me on a Saturday. That'd be cool. And any projects that I'm doing now, I'm just doing some things for stuff for that I can't really disclose. You know how it
Of
is.
course.
NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Yes, you can't talk about that, naughty boy. And just the usual stuff, television adverts and radio adverts. And you probably got it in the States because it has been released over in the States. The Virgin Atlantic uh, TV advert. And I am what I am. You see a lady at the beginning in red, and you see me in there just jangling my bangles. You've probably seen that over there as well. So yeah, I'm on the Virgin Atlantic
That's
TV
cool, man.
commercials and stuff. Yeah, and that's me.
And this is Red Pepper.
And
Thank you
this
so
is Tre
much.
Mosley.
Appreciate that. Appreciate you all for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode. Red, again, brother, thank you so much for your time, man.
Sincerely, it's been my pleasure.
All
And
right,
love to the
y'all.
family as well.
Absolutely. We out of here.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley podcast, part of the Titan Media Network. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcast. To see the video version of this, you can find us on YouTube on the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley YouTube page. Thanks for listening, or thanks for watching. Either way, we'll see you next time.